So we are on to the next part of building this absolutely wonderful house, and that is the framing itself. So what does somebody need to know about framing when they're building a house?
Well, I mean, for the most part, during the framing process, we set all the exterior walls first. And you can see as we set these, we have to put bracing here to make sure that they stay plumb and can handle the wind. Then basically it's all followed by our interior framing. Our interior framing will still have similar bracing to this that'll get removed with the exception of the metal strapping that we can see down the way here.
Absolutely. And you're talking about materials. This is actually a 2x6 wall, not a 2x4 wall. I think a lot of people think it's still 2x4s, right?
Yep, 2x6 it's practically code these days. The energy codes that are in place right now, they do calculations that will require how efficient your home can be and should be. And 2x6 is typically a part of that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's really cool because you're talking about these braces and how it holds the walls up, because when you're setting the walls, there's literally nothing else to hold it up, right?
Right.
But once the trusses go up, what happens?
So once the trusses go up, we can remove all of this bracing. The trusses are only fastened to the exterior walls. That's where our load is. None of our interior walls that you see here will have any permanent attachment to those trusses. They're made just to float above those interior walls.
And that's code, right?
That's code, yep.
Yeah. And what's the reasoning for that?
Trusses tend to move. They will move during different seasons of the year. And what they don't want that to do is that to move those interior walls.
Yeah. So you're basically letting it breathe, essentially. Yes. Nothing's moving and creaking inside.
Exactly.
Very cool. Now, talking about materials, you got 2x6s, but you also have something special right here. We're actually gonna go outside and talk about that because you do something a little bit different than a lot of the builders do. So we're gonna head outside and show you what that's all about. All right, so we finally made it outside, and this is the special stuff we got. Now, this isn't just, plywood or OSB. What exactly is this?
Well, this is a zip sheeting. It's all part of the zip system. You will start to see this more and more throughout town. We try to make this a minimum standard for our homes. This is a spec home and we're still using it. It does cost a little bit more, but it gives us a lot of peace of mind. So what this is it's a two-in-one product. So it serves both as a structural sheathing in addition to being a moisture and air barrier. So every single seam that we have here is taped with the zip system tape. And what that does is that keeps us airtight while keeping the water out.
Yeah. So you're not going to have Tyvek or anything like that, correct?
Nope, there will be no Tyvek on this home. This serves as our Tyvek as well as the sheathing.
Yeah, because it's basically impregnated with a waterproof vapor barrier.
Correct.
Very cool. Now, that's all great, but this is actually, you mentioned it's a structural item to the house, correct?
Yep. So even though we have 2x6 construction here, and that provides us with a lot of strength, all of this exterior sheathing, what it does is it keeps our walls plumb. It keeps them from moving back and forth. Even when you put like an R board up there, it's not as strong as using an OSB. Zip system does make a product though that is an insulation and structural sheathing in one too.
Yeah, now that's really cool. And like I said, not everybody uses it. You see the Tyvek, you still see all that, but this is a little bit of an upgrade that I think is well worth it when you're building.
Yeah, in the course of this home, this is $1,000 to $2,000, and there's we got about $100,000 worth of lumber here. So
yeah, so it's not that big of an expense if you want it to last for a long time, because it looks like there's some kind of warranty as well. So it's really cool, and you should obviously do that if you're getting the right builder right here.